Rich, I don't think we can even try and pretend that this is a glorious day.
It's not great, it's freezing. We forgot our Otto fleeces, but we've got to do what we got to do, right?
Oh, we do indeed.
Do it for the brand.
Do it for the, I mean, a polo t-shirt in this weather, we've got to love the brand a little bit, haven't we?
This is against our self-interest, but you know what? Extra reason to do it as well. Sadly, it is, of course, your last review with us here at Otto Cars.
Rich,
Sad times.
don't get emotional.
I'm trying not to. I'm holding back the flood of
emotional.
tears. I feel like you've got a great vehicle to show.
Well, we absolutely do. And what kind of a vehicle it is? The only vehicle I would say that could warm us up on this cold, chilly day in
Yes,
London.
heated seats would be really beneficial
Well,
right now.
maybe you'll get a couple of those as well. Before we talk about what's inside, let's have a look at what's outside. The Tesla Model 3. So, Rich,
Yes.
we start where we always do, at the front of the car.
Here we are
But
indeed.
with a difference this time, because I think this might be the first, if not maybe the only car that you can't label as menacing.
Ooh, when I actually come to think of it, it does have a bit of a menacing vibe about it. No, I'm only joking. No, it's actually gives me a bit of a kind of Aston Martin, James Bond-esque vibes. Maybe because of the colour, which is
this is, well, what would you say if you had to guess?
silvery grey, some kind of marketing spiel.
Grey.
No?
Oh, Richard,
Maybe-
how wrong you are.
Maybe I'm colourblind. I don't know.
This is Midnight Silver Metallic.
Oh, that's close enough.
Not to be mistaken with Midnight Grey, which of course is a whole other thing.
Fair enough.
It also does come in red, by the way.
Not for me.
Which I see a lot of people drive around in red Model 3s, but yeah, it's not for me. And also for PCO work, you know, red has never been a
Look at
preferable
that.
colour. But yeah, so thoughts?
Well, yeah, colour-wise, it actually gives me a bit of a kind of James Bond, Aston Martin vibe from like some of the films from like 20 years ago.
Sleek, right?
Very sleek, very sleek. Absolutely loving the LED situation going on with the lights. Tell me a bit more about that, actually.
Very nice design. LED daytime running lights. You've got your
Okay.
LED headlamps, and in the rear you've also got some LED as well, which is
Fantastic.
very
It
nice.
really complements the shape of the vehicle, doesn't it?
Yeah, and well, I've got a quiz for you,
Okay.
Rich.
Here we go.
Okay,
Try to test me.
tell me, where do you think the battery is in this car?
All right. I'm going to say it's tucked somewhere down here.
Well, here, right here?
Right
Sure?
there.
Final
yes.
answer?
Final answer.
Well, you would be absolutely wrong.
Oh, okay. And why is that?
Well, because the battery in the Tesla Model 3 is actually underneath.
Ah, interesting.
So,
okay.
as
that was
you
a trick.
drive
That was
along-
a trick question, wasn't it?
As you feel the, well, the lack thereof of engine roaring beneath your feet, it actually quite literally is in this car.
Amazing.
Which leaves some space for Tesla to innovate, which I feel was what they do with most of their designs. And part of that innovation is creating the frunk.
Ooh, okay.
You know, you've got the trunk in the
Yeah.
back of the car? Well, you've got the frunk in the front now.
I'm buying into this terminology. Okay, I'm feeling it.
Well,
I'm feeling
so
it.
obviously it's not the most amount of space that you could get, but it is good for...
You can put luggage in there or anything like that.
Yeah, it's just odd bits and pieces, charging cables, things
Yeah,
like that
smart.
you maybe don't want to put in the boot.
Okay.
It's just another way to maximise space and come out with some, you know, extra features that make the design just a little bit cutting edge compared to other
Yeah.
ones.
So kind of little things like that that make it special.
Yeah, and hey, we're just beginning.
Okay, show me
Yeah.
more.
Well, let's go. I've got to say, Rich, one of my favourite parts about the aesthetics of the Tesla Model 3 is just how it looks from the side. I think that's lent by the 18-inch wheels that you see here.
Yeah, I'm loving what's going on, by the way.
Yeah, it's almost that decadent black in the
Yeah.
middle that just looks really pristine and, dare I say it, Batmobile-esque.
A little bit.
You've also got your auto-dimming heated side mirrors.
When it gets a bit frosty in the winter, that'll definitely come in use.
Absolutely. But you know, Rich, you can look at this car on the side and be like, is it missing something?
Is it the door handles? Because there's something quite going on here. I can't, it feels like a typical Tesla thing to do, just like change stuff that's been conventional for like decades.
Exactly.
Right?
And can I be honest with you? I actually think it's one of my least favourite things about this
Really?
car.
Do you want to try it out? Is that where we're going with this?
Yeah, I think that some people will like it because it's futuristic and flashy, but yeah, why don't you pop it open
Okay.
and see how it does for
I've
you?
not done this before. Let's have a... Okay. It's like a... You need... I've got quite big hands, so like... This doesn't feel right.
But you know what, Rich? I wanted to talk about something that doesn't often get spoken about in relation to the Tesla Model 3, and that's safety.
Okay.
I think a lot of people, when they hear about the Tesla, they think about it as this, you know, fast machine that just whooshes past you with the leaves scattering in the distance.
Packed with tech as well, of course.
Packed with tech as well, but not a lot of people talk about the safety, and actually it's exceptional for that. Its Euro NCAP rating was actually higher than I think any other EV ever, and you know, just small features like this sunroof, which is made purely out of glass, it can actually withhold 4 times its weight. That's
Incredible.
the equivalent of 2 African elephants. So,
Wow. Where did you pluck that stat from?
I plucked it from the Tesla website.
Oh, very well done.
I mean, if I'm a liar, then they are as well.
That's the line we'll go with.
But look, it's not just the fact that it can probably withhold a sub-Saharan stampede. You've also got this fun camera here on the right. You know, you've also got another one on the other side as well.
Very peculiar.
Yeah, it's quite a peculiar position, right? It's not something you would conventionally see in a car. And you know what? I can show you a little bit more about that inside the vehicle.
Okay.
And we can see what that's used for as well. But they're just these little features and these little touches that just, I don't know, put it a little bit a crust above other cars.
And correct me if I'm wrong, because I've done a bit of research myself.
Oh, it's almost like you knew this review was coming.
No. I believe this is where you tap your cards to get into the vehicle, is that correct?
It is, absolutely. And, you know, we will be doing a bit of that in a bit.
Lovely.
But can I maybe interest you in showing you the back of the car as well?
Absolutely.
We can do a little run through and then maybe step inside.
Looking forward to it. Let's do it.
Let's have a look. So, what do you think?
We know it-ish. Normally, we get to this part of the vehicle, it's a bit underwhelming. I think we sometimes struggle to really like drum up and dress up the rear of a car, but that's not the case in this case. Really loving it, really sport and sleeky design. I mean, it kind of sells itself, right? I don't have to speak about it in too much detail, because just look at it.
Yeah, I mean, design is fantastic. Also, I personally am a huge fan of the Tesla logo as well.
Yeah, that does always help. That does always help.
And as you can see here, you've got your sensors here on the back, the trusted sensors. They're actually part of 12 ultrasonic sensors that are located all around the vehicle. And you know, it's part of that safety aspect that we were talking about earlier. You know, these are kind of like your eyes on the road. They give you a 360 view of the road around you, and just as a driver, make it a pleasure to drive because you just feel safe. You feel like you've got a wider awareness of the road around you.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, if you're out on the road quite a lot of the time in the week, during a day, for example, you know, this is like an extra layer of protection for the drivers, right? You know, and the more the merrier in our case, I think.
Absolutely, and you know, as we step inside, we're going to see that this is an extremely fun car. But they haven't scrimped on that safety aspect as well, which I think is an important thing to say.
Good to know.
Another point as well, we were chatting with some drivers recently. Some of the feedback they gave us was that it actually has a lot more space in the boot than you would think it does.
Well, I'd love to see for myself.
Well, can I pop it for you?
Absolutely, go for it. So gracious of you. And look at that.
Yeah, it's not bad, is it?
Not bad at all. There's plenty of space.
Plenty of space.
We're talking about airport runs. You could definitely fit in a few bags of luggage for that, couldn't you?
Definitely fit in a few bags. And look, it's not just this. There's also a nice compartment.
Fantastic. The secret stash. Very James Bond-esque, if I may say so.
Exactly. So, we've seen the front, we've seen the back, had a look at the side, talked a bit about the safety. I think it's time to get on the road, don't you?
It's the best thing said all day. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Hey, careful with the handles.
Yeah, I'm struggling. I really am struggling. That's not a joke. Is there a manual for this? Jesus Christ.
All right, in we are.
Here we are, the Tesla Model 3 in all its glory.
Smells beautiful, doesn't it?
Well, actually I can't smell anything. My nose is blocked.
No. Well, I've got to say, the first thing I always feel when I step inside the Tesla Model 3 is premium. It really feels nice, doesn't it?
It does. It's got a really cool, like, minimalist design. Where are all the buttons? Where is everything?
Exactly.
I've got a feeling it's all in one place in particular, and I'll let you get there.
Yeah. Well, you know what? You're right. It is minimal, and a part of that is because this 15-inch LCD touchscreen here in the middle is kind of the heart and soul, or let's say the brain of this vehicle.
Brain's probably the most relevant and correct.
Exactly, because everything runs through this, and in a way that means that they've kind of gotten rid of all the other stuff that you might notice in other vehicles, like, you know, the buttons and the gadgets and all the trimmings, and they basically just put it here.
All into one place. I
all
like the
into one
VW, for
place.
example, which has like 2 systems going on. It had like
Exactly.
the dashboard console, but also the screen as well to go with it.
100%, yeah. You know, you don't even have the speedometer behind the screen,
not
if
at
you've
all.
noticed. Yeah, and that's just because everything in here essentially functions. This is the throbbing, beating brain.
Well, I feel like a big kid again,
this
so
vehicle. Yeah, well,
show me the ropes.
Well, yeah, let's have a look. I mean, the first thing that I noticed when I touch this touchscreen is that it is super responsive. I would say this is probably as close to an iPad as you can probably get in a car.
Well, that's great to hear, because some of the reviews I've done before, like always one slight negative. It's always been that it's been a bit clunky and it's felt a bit like you can see what they're trying to do, but it hasn't been a bit unresponsive as well at times.
100%,
and it's been a bit out of date. But this is there.
not sticky at all. It's exactly there. You know, and through this touchscreen, I guess we can talk about a bunch of other features we have in the car, like for instance the heated seats,
which I can feel right now, by the way, on this
Exactly.
slightly frosty autumn morning or afternoon. I should say.
Well, as we mentioned before we got in this car and did the walk around, is that, well, yeah, it's an extremely cold day, so I thought we couldn't step inside without the seats being a little
We're
bit
going
heated.
nowhere. I am.
But I've got to say as well that they work extremely well, to the point that I can even put mine down a little bit now. You've got your dual action climate control going on here in the car. That's your kind of your AC and, you know, different temperatures that you like around the car. That's extremely nice. You can also toggle your locks, look at your camera, you know, bring in or pull out your side mirrors as and when you need them. But you know, the thing that I like about this, more than anything really for me, is that it's fun. And I think that that's one thing to say about the Tesla Model 3 in general. It's a fun car. And you know, the best way to see that is just popping this over. You've got 2 tabs here already, the toy box and the entertainment tabs.
Let's go for it.
Yeah, if you click the entertainments, you've got a host of games which, you know, you wouldn't normally see in other cars. You can
Not
play
recommended whilst we're
Asteroids.
driving, must I say.
Yeah, well, solitaire. And I would say that, you know, while you're waiting for your car to get charged up, I mean, who doesn't love a game of solitaire? You play that.
Absolutely.
You know, so, you know, that's extremely fun. You've also got a theatre mode in there, so you can grab your Netflix, you've got YouTube, and also, as if that wasn't already enough to keep you hooked, you've also got a toy box, which is, you know, got a sketch pad.
Bring out the sketch pad.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing you draw your best Otto logo, actually. if you could.
Oh, I've been waiting for this moment all my life. Let's go ahead right now.
No, let's check it out. That was, I think that was terrible, Rich. But yeah, good effort. Good effort.
How dare you, sir?
Yeah, you've got your fireplace setting here, and you've even got a whoopee cushion setting. So I know many PCO drivers out there might be they might be annoyed at a passenger, maybe sitting at the back, someone, you know, a guy trying to impress someone on his date, and then all right, so let me do the bit.
So I really couldn't.
Yeah, let me do the bit.
It was too tempting to not do it.
Console
And of course,
system.
charging points are also on there and available for you to see.
Yeah,
I mean,
as you would imagine, you can see the charging ports around London, as well as how charged up the vehicle is. You can even check out how much energy you have in the car and the projected range that you have left.
amazing.
You can even control your windscreen wipers here, or just keep them on auto, because there are of course auto rain sensing wipers. And look at this bad boy.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, the sun's not beating down on us as we speak, but which will probably give a better impression, but this fantastic glass just laces over my head.
It's very nice. It makes the outside world almost seem like an aquarium. And you know what? In quite a sporty design of car, what's also cool about it is it makes the car not feel claustrophobic
Yeah,
at all.
I've got absolute headspace over here. How are you doing in the back,
Yeah.
Tom?
Loads of space, loads of
There we
space.
go, there we go.
It's lovely and bright,
Exactly.
and I feel like 2 African elephants could stand on top of me right now and I'd be perfectly safe.
I don't want to put that to the test. I really don't. But I'll trust you and I'll trust the Tesla website if that's what it really said.
But you know what? I trust Tesla, but I also saw that video where Elon Musk threw a rock at one of his cars and it ended up smashing the window.
That is true.
So, you know, take
Maybe-
everything with a pinch of salt.
Exactly.
Don't try it at home, basically. I think the key takeaway is just that it's sturdy. Oh, and also, did I mention you could do karaoke on this thing if you wanted to? I'll tell you something else I like about this car. You know, I was talking outside about the safety and about, you know, the ultrasonic sensors around the car. You remember I showed you that camera?
Absolutely.
Well, can I show you how that
You may.
bad boy comes into practice? Boom. There you go. You no longer have a view just out of the back of your car, but you can also see from the sides as well.
Fantastic, fantastic.
Why do you need to see out the sides, I hear you ask? Well, that's a question I'm still figuring out myself.
It wasn't there before, right? This is on the latest version.
It is on the latest version, yeah. And you know what? If you're the kind of guy who likes people watching, then I dare say this is probably the camera angle for you. Let me show you the bits that you might not have noticed. Like you said, there's a lot of space, and I think that they've utilised that quite well. And a good example of that is here in this centre console.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you've actually got 4 USB charging ports across this whole centre console.
Very discreet as well, may I add.
Yeah, extremely discreet. Very nice. A lot of space actually there to keep stuff in. You've also got this space here, and you've also got a power outlet there. So that's nice, looks sleek as well. It pops in, really nice design. And in this center console as well, that's where you put your trusty key. Ours is still in the box there.
Fantastic.
But yeah, you just pop it there, and then the car will take care of the rest. You've also got here, when I pull back on this menu, the glove box, which opens just like that. Again, through the center console.
So it feels like a gimmick, but actually it's pretty cool.
It's very cool. I would say the only thing that would maybe annoy me about that is that I can't actually physically open it. Maybe there is a way, but I haven't figured it out to physically open it without pressing that button. But I guess, you know, if you can, why not?
And talking of buttons, do you want to tell me a little bit about the door handle?
Yeah, well, you know what? You know, like I said outside, I'm not sure if these door handles are all for me. It feels like Tesla are on a mission to revolutionize the handle. Some might say, hey, the handle is working well for centuries. But Tesla said, no, we're going to go and reinvent it. Nobody asked, but we're going to do it
anyway.
And for that reason, there is no longer a handle here. There's just a trusty little button here which you can press and open.
Go for it.
Well, there you go. Are you ready to drive, Rich?
Absolutely.
Well, I have just a couple more points before you can do that.
You're teasing me. You know what you're doing. I'm fully aware there's a lot of cool features of this car, but you are grinding them out just to annoy me.
A couple more. But look, it's Tesla's fault. They shouldn't give me this many features.
Stop being so good, Tesla. Let me just drive the car.
Look, you've got the front and the trunk, which you can open from here in the center console. Which is obviously quite a nice feature. You've got your music, which is your, includes Spotify, but also you've got, your Bluetooth audio, standard trimmings as you would expect. But Rich, look, enough of all this talking. Are we going to get on the road or what?
Yes, that for the 5th time. Yes, I would love to get on the road. Can I?
You can get on the road.
Yes,
Let's
all
do
right.
it.
Okay. Okay, and we're off, and the sun has come out at the worst possible time.
Yeah,
or
my
best.
phone has dropped at the worst possible time.
Oh, it's all going off here. It's all going off. You found it?
Yeah, I have.
There
You just
we
focus on the road, my friend.
I'm focusing.
Focus on the road.
Ahead. Is this one way? Who knows? We keep going.
It's a nice drive, isn't it?
Very smooth indeed, and very, very silent.
Well, there you go. And do you get that added feeling that you're better than everybody else?
It's not just
Tesla.
It's not sunk in just yet, but give me about 5 minutes.
Maybe I can rattle off a few features that can give you that smug feeling.
Yeah, please do. Go ahead.
Well, you've got lane keep assist, which is
Okay,
obviously
yeah,
really nice.
super
Some
helpful.
people like that, some people don't. But it will notify you if you're veering too far off the beaten path. You've also got blind spot collision detection. Again, that
very
will
useful.
beep. Yeah, that will kick into play if cars are coming near you, which is very nice. And that's kind of part of the whole Tesla ethic, isn't it? Right, just to help you while you're on the road, which makes for safe driving, but also, some fun features that can, help your driving. They're kind of becoming commonplace as well. You've got adaptive cruise control, which is very nice, and a lot of PCO drivers I know swear by it. And you've got multiple different modes, driving modes, including how you accelerate. You choose standard acceleration, and you've also just got chill mode there. And in terms of steering, you've got comfort, standard, and sport. And there's also stopping mode, which has creep, roll, or hold. So again, different driving styles. I think that Tesla are just trying to find ways to adapt to you, so you can basically play around with your settings and see what kind of driver you are and what suits your style, which is very cool.
That's great to know. I'm going to pick the chill mode, by the way. Just I think it might suit my personality. Who knows?
Absolutely. And you've also got you know, a bunch of things like full self-driving visualization mode, which will show you, you know, like objects and stuff. It's quite cool. Yeah, you can see like different things that are all around you, and it's just giving you awareness of the car. And that's part of what I was saying with the ultrasonic sensors. It's just that like the car is basically mapping and tracking out the city around you, and you can just focus on the drive basically. And yeah, you've also got, you know, set speed limits, speed limit warnings, automatic emergency braking, obstacle aware, acceleration, and emergency lane departure avoidance. So there are all these just little features that can just help you to have the best time on the road basically. And you know what, there was actually a feature that I should have said before we kicked off, but I think it's quite a cool feature. It's actually one of my favourite features about the car. There's a mode called Sentry Mode. Okay. Basically what that is that when you leave the car and you lock it up, the cameras will still keep rolling. So if someone comes nearby the car, the camera will basically take footage of that person, and it will store it to a USB drive that you can basically take later. So
that's really smart.
It's like an anti-theft and stuff like that.
That.
Like I say, they've kind of got, you know, the fun elements to this car, but they've also got the security and safety on lockdown as well.
Yeah, they're really thought of all the elements as to what makes a great car. And talking of great cars, this is obviously meant to be as a PCO car. You know, how does one make it suitable for it? Because let's be honest, the cost is a little bit higher than your conventional PCO car, or even for an electric car.
Yeah.
And you know, the brand is strong, and therefore the value is higher. But you know, how if a PCO driver is thinking about this car, what should they be taking into consideration?
Well, yeah, I think that's a good question. I think the first thing is, let's be realistic. It's an Uber X car. You know, I think that it is quite executive, but apparently at this moment in time, it's not eligible for the Uber Exec platform.
Sure.
So you will be taking Uber X rides. So you know, it makes it quite an expensive Uber X car. But at the same time, I would say that, you know, the car that you choose to do your work in isn't necessarily always about functionality. And I think a lot of the people that pick the Tesla Model 3, and there are a lot of people that do, as we've seen over the last few years, a lot of those people like it because this is just the car they want to be in. It's a futuristic car. It's the Tesla brand, which definitely is going to hold value.
Yeah, it's like an investment, isn't it? You know, it's the car that you're going to be in for. It's your workspace. So you know, if you wanted to take it up a notch, maybe up that level, you know, and it's financially affordable, of course, you know, and it's suitable for you, then why not?
Yeah, it's not just a car for work; it's a car for life. And I think some people as well, when they're thinking about, you know, moving into the EV space, the Tesla brand really kind of is unparalleled in a way because they've set the trail for all of this. So some people feel like this, you know, there's a sense of reliability with that. And a good example of that is, you know, for example, range anxiety. Yeah. I like to say that the Tesla Model 3 basically, you know, gets rid of range anxiety because it's hard to have it in this car. But if you just add up the mileage, which is already a whopping 278 miles, but then you add on it certain features here like the energy consumption chart, which tells you how much you have left. You know, that increased level of range and the awareness that you have of how much you have left, that basically it makes you constantly feel comfortable that you've got enough charge in it. You know, it's one of the few cars where we're happy to actually sit down in a break and watch a Netflix show. You know, don't get too comfortable in this car, Rich. I know that this is my last review, but you know, you've got many to come. You've got years of these.
Well, actually, on that note, this may almost certainly be my last as well.
What?
Yeah, you know, Ant and Dec, you can't split them up, and I think it's time for us to take it down a new direction, new path, whatever that may be. So we're both going out on a high together.
We've had a good run.
We've had a great run.
So Rich, I don't want to rain on your parade, but you know, something says that we might eventually need to head back to HQ.
Yes, I do. Although I'd like to think we could probably, you know, it's still very cold. Is there a chance we could just do this, wrap this amazing review up in the vehicle itself?
Well, you know, I wouldn't mind sitting in this car for a little bit longer.
And I wouldn't mind either.
Well,
who says not to, right?
Let's do it then. So Rich.
Yes.
Here we are.
This is it.
The final review of the final review.
Tissues, anyone?
What's your rating?
Ooh, 4 was out of a game? Was it out of 5, I believe?
That's out of 5, yeah. I mean, come on, mate. It's a bit late in the day to learn the format.
Well, we know we've been shifting it around and taking turns in reviewing it. Look, I'm trying to take everything into consideration. Of course, I've got to take into consideration the specs, the features, the design, the suitability for a PCO driving, the range,
Absolutely.
everything, and of course the price. I think altogether, I'm giving it a 4.5.
A 4.5. So how come I missed out on that 0.5?
Well, of course, look, price is something to be taken into consideration.
Yeah.
It might not be for everybody in the PCO industry.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of taking that kind of holistic overall view of it.
Yeah.
And you know, for this job, like the range is fantastic, and obviously there's other vehicles coming onto the market now that are having a similar range. So maybe that's where it starts to lose a little bit of a point for me.
Or even more like the Hyundai Ioniq 5 Premium.
Exactly. I think overall, look, it depends on where your values lie. For me, I love the Tesla, I like the brand, but maybe I'm not so attached to it as others might be, and therefore I'd be willing to compromise and maybe pay a little bit less, but to get something almost as similar or there or thereabouts. So I think for me, that's why it's not, let's just say, a 4.8 or even a 5 like with the Kia.
So tell me how it got the first 4.5 mark.
Oof, you're really pushing me for this, aren't you?
Yeah.
You know what? Well, look, the design is stunning. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a real head turner. Even as we've been driving this vehicle, people are having a look and checking out what we're doing with the screen. Features are top of the range. We've finally got the most true iPad-esque dashboard screen in front of us right here. It's super intuitive, and I love how everything's been centralized into one place. Interior designs are fantastic. The quirky little features, the USB, the buttons have all changed. I mean, even the extra cameras on the vehicle on the sides is a great little touch. So you can tell they're really thought about it. And like I said right at the beginning about the safety element as well, you know, that's so crucial. It can get overlooked a little bit just because everyone focuses so much on the visuals of the car and the aesthetics.
Absolutely, yeah.
So the safety stuff really actually appeals to me as well, knowing that this is something that people can be doing, you know, for most of the day, for most days. So therefore, that's a key indicator that you might not see from the outside looking in once you research it. So yeah, overall, I love it. It's great. Maybe not exactly for me personally if I was a PCO driver, but it's up there, and I think it's probably our second best score so far.
Yeah,
so,
I think it is as well.
I think, you know, I'm trying to give it as honest review as possible.
Yeah, I mean the top score so far I think is the Kia e-Niro, and that's just because I'm very unbiased. But well, I loved your summary.
Thank you. It came from the heart.
Yeah, I almost wished it wouldn't end.
This is it. This is the end.
It's been a good run.
It has been a good run. How many reviews have we done now? I've lost count.
Too many to count. But I can't wait to see who's sitting in the front seat of the next review. I know who'll be sitting in the back seat.
Well, you missed the trick there, because you could have said hot seat, considering these seats are very toasty right now.
Well, we don't know if heated seats will be a feature of the next one. Let's not try and promise to potential viewers, but we can't do that.
I still think you missed the trick. But anyway,
he wouldn't know. So
she wouldn't know.
No, you're a he.
Yeah. Yes, I am. Or am I? Leave that bit out.
It's a sad day. I don't think either of us wanted to end, ever. But I think we've taken these current reviews to where they have to be, and hopefully the next people can pass on the baton and deliver the same level of, probably a bit better than we do, because we're more banter than substance anyway.
Yeah, we've been glossing over it with our wit and charm, apparently. So yeah.
Well, yeah. Hey.
All right, pleasure. It's been a fantastic ride.
Yeah. But can I just say, Rich, I know this is usually where we get out of the car and do the walk, but I am loving these heated seats, so maybe we can just turn off the cameras and sit here for a bit longer.
Just a little bit longer, All right, turn it off.
Yeah, let's do that.